Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, crews worked to extinguish a house fire last night. The details and conditions of a person who escaped just ahead. And in California, wildfires continuing overnight as winds ravage the area. Plus, river levels are rising. We'll tell you what that means for Victoria residents.
And for us in the Crossroads, the cool weather continues going into the weekend. We're going to clear out a little bit for our sunny skies, but the main talking point is going to be soon-to-be Winter Storm Cora coming off the mountains, bringing all sorts of rain and winter precip to Texas. We'll talk about that in the weather coming up.
And former Ferry head football coach Jason Herring is going to be inducted to the Coastal Bend Coaches Association Hall of Honor. I'll tell you more here in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Wednesday. Hope you're staying warm out there this week.
That's right. It is a bit chilly out there. Not as cold as it was yesterday morning. Or did you ever go outside yesterday morning, Caro? It was really cold.
Oh, yeah. I go outside. I have to walk Sparty.
Yeah, she walked the dogs. I went home and walked my doggy, too.
But I have been enjoying the hot sauna gym.
Oh, there you go.
Here locally. It's been a nice excuse to get out of the cold.
There you go. I bet so. And I bet a lot of y'all are probably thinking the same thing because it has been a bit chilly out there, y'all. We got up to about low 50s for highs yesterday, and today it's going to be even chillier. Not the morning temperatures, but the daytime temperatures. Why? Because right now, if you're tuning in with us, it is super duper cloudy out there, and we're still in the low 40s. However, the wind chill, that's in the 30s, so it's definitely still bundle up out there. Still feels a little bit cold. Why is that? Because winds are right now sustained between 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wind gusts this morning have been reported between 20 to 25. But if you thought we were cold, look at North Texas, 20 degrees in Amarillo and Wichita Falls along the Red River. But all of us down here in the Crossroads, we're all hovering in the mid 30s, all the way up to the mid 40s for temperatures. A little bit warmer as you get closer to that warm water along the Gulf Coast. But like I said, with a slight breeze out there, 10 to 15 miles an hour, we all have wind chills in the 30s. Some of us are actually in the 20s. 28 right now feels like at Nixon, and it feels like below freezing up in our northern counties right now. A little bit warmer than I originally thought we were going to get to. But right now you can see also on satellite, you can see all the clouds that are starting to roll back over South Texas thanks to a real weak low pressure system forming right off the coast. But there's also, you can see on the satellite, soon to be Winter Storm Cora in the deep southern Rockies, and that will be coming over Texas tomorrow, bringing all sorts of snow, freezing rain, sleet, and all sorts of rain. Lots of rain coming our way. We're going to look at all that later on Sunrise. Because if you're seeing your kiddos out the door this morning, like I said, the cloud cover over us all day today is going to only allow our temperatures to rise a few degrees. We're going to look at all the details of your day and more coming up next.
The Victoria Fire Department responded to a major house fire in the 100 block of Banbury Lane late Tuesday night. The fire spread throughout the entire home and flames could be seen surging in the garage. VFD was able to gain control of the fire, but the house appears to be a total loss. Crews at the scene had trouble extinguishing the fire as the roof collapsed amid the flames. A woman was taken to an area hospital, and at last check she was doing fine. That's according to a neighbor who accompanied her. Neighbors say she had at least 12 cats. VFD reported that they saw animals run out of the home, but it's not yet clear if they all made it out safely. An investigation is underway. Now to the dangerous fires in Southern California. The flames being pushed by powerful winds overnight. The fire that started in the Pacific Palisades section of LA, burning more than 3,000 acres. The powerful winds moving the flames at remarkable speed.
Overnight hurricane-force winds fueling wildfires in Southern California, burning the equivalent of 5 football fields per minute. Firefighters battling flames in the foothills of Pacific Palisades, a coastal neighborhood of LA. New video shows the Palisades Charter High School burning, along with a theater across the street. Several homes also engulfed in flames. No immediate word on how many. 30,000 under mandatory evacuation orders. Officials say the fire is particularly hard to fight because the department's planes and helicopters have been grounded.
The fire is being fueled by a combination of strong winds and surrounding topography, which is making it extremely challenging for our personnel that are assigned to this incident.
On Sunset Boulevard, drivers were forced to abandon their cars after getting stuck in traffic, trying to evacuate the fire zone.
When we got in the car to go, and then all the cars were abandoned, so I had nowhere to go, so I just had to get out of my car and start walking. The smoke is so bad.
The fire department bulldozer had to push dozens of the abandoned vehicles out of the way.
This is Sunset Boulevard, right in the heart of Pacific Palisades, and all of these cars, including us at one point, were stuck in this gridlock. And in order for firefighters to actually get to the fires, they had to carve a path. And so a bulldozer literally shoved all of these cars to the side. You can see the bumpers ripped off, the scratches along the vehicles here.
A second fire then breaking out about 30 miles away in the hills above Pasadena.
Sounds like a train.
Fueled by 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, that fire burning hundreds of acres less than 1 hour after it started. The winds were expected to produce gusts possibly topping 100 miles per hour in the mountains and foothills, including in areas that have not seen substantial rain since last spring. The windstorm, the worst in more than a decade. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
The Biden administration announced an initiative to remove an estimated $49 billion in medical debts from credit reports of roughly 15 million Americans. The new rule from the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau would ban the inclusion of medical bills on credit reports and would bar lenders from using medical information when they make lending decisions. The agency predicts the new rule will enable the approval of an estimated 22,000 additional mortgages every year. The average American with medical debt on a credit report could see their credit score rise by nearly 20 points. And that leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. We want to know, do you agree with Biden's initiative to remove medical debt from credit reports? All right, let's take a look. 91% of you say yes, you are on board with that initiative, and 9% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll. Several residents are displaced after an apartment fire Tuesday morning. The fire broke out at the Houston House Apartments in the 100 block of Cornwall Drive shortly after 10 o'clock. Firefighters put out the flames quickly, but multiple units had smoke and water damage. 4 people were taken to the hospital for minor injuries. The American Red Cross is working with residents needing temporary shelter, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. Victoria is changing water restrictions. Thanks to recent rainfall, the city is lifting Stage 2 restrictions and moving back to Stage 1 of the drought plan that comes after 14 days of steady Guadalupe River flow above the low flow threshold set by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. Under Stage 1, you don't have to limit non-essential use of water, but the city still encourages smart conservation, like watering your lawn wisely. Just an inch per week is plenty, upgrading to water efficient appliances, and using the free WaterWise program to monitor usage and catch leaks early. With more cold nights in the forecast, warming centers are staying open in Victoria. The Salvation Army of Victoria will house men only, while the First United Methodist Church and Our Lady of Sorrows Catholic Church is open to anyone. All centers are open from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. through Saturday. Monday night, a total of 50 people took shelter in a Victoria warming center to get out of the cold. 2 warming shelters in Cuero are open through Friday. The Cuero Fire Department at 219 East Main Street is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the Cuero Municipal Library at 207 East Main Street is open from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Remember, follow us on our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time is now, looking at our clock up here, at 6:39 on our Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. It's time to get your fishing pole and to head on over to the duck pond.
The late President Jimmy Carter. I'm Nicole D'Antonio on Capitol Hill with details on the events happening this week to honor the 39th president.
And also coming up next after the break in the full forecast today, thanks to the cloud cover, going to be a bit of a chilly one all across beautiful Texas. I'll tell you how cool and chilly I think it's going to be near you, but we got to talk about also coming up next, all the rain that's coming our way. I'll tell you when I think that's going to get here. Well, good morning, Crossroads. You're looking live in Cuero. Still a little bit chilly out there this morning, but you can't really see it on this camera, but we got a thick deck of clouds over us right now, and that's going to stay with us all the way into tomorrow, actually all the way into Friday night. But right now, with the clouds over us, it's keeping us just a tad bit warmer. Yesterday, we were well below freezing in Cuero. Now it's 37 degrees, but that wind chill, that's below freezing at about 30, thanks to the winds. It's between, like I said, 10 to 15 miles an hour. But like I said, we have another winter storm that's going to be coming off the mountains. You can see it right there. That's going to become Winter Storm Cora over the next 24 hours as it moves across Texas, and that exactly is going to be responsible for bringing us here in the Crossroads all sorts of rain for tomorrow. We're going to get to that here right after this, because for today, that storm, that system will also be responsible for bringing us all the cloud cover. You can see that as I'm pressing play. Overcast all day, not going to be a single break in the clouds. If you do see a single break in the clouds, take a picture of that, because it's going to be the only one today. Because going into tomorrow, I also don't think there's going to be any rain today. If you see anything today, it's going to be a really light drizzle. I've got chances at 0% today, because the big rain thing is coming our way tomorrow. You can see here's 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. might have a couple really light showers starting to form in some of our counties, but the big rain is coming tomorrow afternoon. There's noon right there. 3 p.m. I'm just going to press play. You can see it's going to be a bit of a rainy one all day tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to go ahead and say get that umbrella and keep it out. And the good news is I don't think there's going to be any thunderstorms. And also good news is no alert day, but we might pick up a solid 1 to 2 inches of rain, which would be really nice. But as we go into the weekend, as that system moves east, we do have an alert day for Friday. We're going to look at why that is coming up next.
All right, Crossroads. So this Thursday, the Coastal Bend Coaches Association is going to induct former Refugio head football coach Jason Herring into their Hall of Honor there in front of there lots of different people. And Herring became Refugio's head coach back in 2007 and stepped down there in March of 2024. He led the Bobcats there to 3 state championships, and he won at least 11 games every year there when he was there at coach. And Refugio there, Herring stepped down back in 2024 due to health reasons, but still brought a winning culture there to Refugio. And congrats to him getting inducted to the Coastal Bend Coaches Association Hall of Honor. And again, that's a big time honor for him. And again, props up to for him leading Refugio to that many state championships. Wish him luck there going into that honor this Thursday. This is Max Williams, 25 News Now Sports.
Today, thousands of mourners will be able to pay their respects to the 39th president, the late Jimmy Carter, now lying in state at the United States Capitol Rotunda ahead of the funeral service and National Day of Mourning tomorrow.
The nation gathering to pay their respects to the late President Jimmy Carter, the 39th president lying in state at the United States Capitol. The longest-lived president arriving in Washington, D.C. Tuesday afternoon. An Air Force Flight Special Air Mission 39 carrying the 39th president to the nation's capital. The motorcade first making its way to the U.S. Navy Memorial, a place he authorized construction for during his presidency. His flag-draped casket then beginning its procession down Pennsylvania Avenue. Members of all 3 branches of government gathering under the Capitol Dome. Vice President Kamala Harris saying Carter left the world better than he found it.
Jimmy Carter's work and those works speak for him, louder than any tribute we can offer. May his life be a lesson for the ages and a beacon for the future.
Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson reflecting on one of his favorite quotes from the former president.
If I have one life and one chance to make it count for something, we all agree that he certainly did. So today in these hallowed halls of our republic, we honor President Carter, his family, and his enduring legacy that he leaves, not only upon this nation, but upon the world.
Carter, who served 1 term in office, died at the age of 100 years old. Tomorrow, President Carter's body will be escorted to the Washington National Cathedral for a state funeral, where President Biden will deliver the eulogy. Nicole D'Antonio, ABC News, Washington.
Victoria County is hosting a presentation on how to prepare for a winter storm. It's scheduled for Thursday, January 16th at 5 p.m. They'll lead a class on how winter storms impact public health and how you can stay safe. Just show up at the Dr. Petty Dodson Public Health Center to learn more.
Prepare your home, for instance, how to protect your pipes and what to do for your pets, and if somebody is on medication, how to store it properly or how to have backup in case the power goes out. Because we live in Texas, so our weather is very unpredictable and we never know when something is going to occur.
The Public Health Department says that the presentation is specifically about winter storm preparation and it's not in response to the freeze this week. Rainbow trout are back at the Riverside Park Duck Pond. Texas Parks and Wildlife stocked the pond with 1,000 trout. Plus, you might reel in a catfish or bluegill. Remember, only pole and line fishing is allowed. No more than 5 fish can be kept per day, no size limit. And a fishing license is required for anyone 17 or older. You must respect the park's wildlife, don't leave fishing lines behind, and skip the bread when feeding ducks. If you need gear, Parks and Rec has fishing poles to borrow at 532 McCrite Drive. The time is now 6:47 on our Wednesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, the federal agency is working to make it easier for you to file your taxes. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Cooper. Happy 10th birthday, Cooper. Have the best year yet. You are so loved from Grammy.
Oh, I love that picture. Happy birthday, Cooper. And also happy birthday to Dorothy. Happy birthday to our beautiful mother, Dorothy. And also happy anniversary to our loving parents, Bubba and Dorothy. That's so sweet. May your special day be bringing many blessings and good luck at the bingo. Maybe they mean Palace Bingo. Love always from your kids and grandkids.
Delicious burgers there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And you can't bring her down because she's defying gravity. Wicked star Cynthia Erivo celebrates her 38th birthday today. We've got to make space, hold space for her.
There you go. Happy 38th, Cynthia. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, just go to crossroadstoday.com, click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
And the time is now 6:48 on our Wednesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right. Happy birthday. And I also want to wish a big special birthday to my friend Al Trevino. Happy birthday if you celebrated a couple days ago. And happy birthday if you're celebrating with us today. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stop.
Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure you heard me talking about all week long about this new winter storm that's going to be sweeping across Texas tomorrow. And you probably also heard us talking about another winter storm. Well, that winter storm, we're talking about Winter Storm Blair that swept across the Midwestern states just a few days ago. That is now all the way up there in the northern Atlantic. It's kind of starting to dissipate a little bit, and it's also affecting the polar vortex way up there, which may maybe do something in the long extended forecast. But for us in the short term for tomorrow, we got to deal with winter, or what is soon to be Winter Storm Cora. You can see the upper level low system spinning kind of clockwise over the deep southern Rockies and the northern Baja Peninsula. That system will continue moving eastward as we go into tomorrow and all the way into Friday and Saturday of the weekend. You can see as that system moves eastward, it's going to bring right behind it, actually really bring above it, that really cold air mass that's sitting about 2 to 3 miles high. We're talking cold air that's like -20 to -30 degrees, sitting 2 to 3 miles high above our heads. And with that cold air being that cold above our heads, that's going to allow for snow in North Texas, not down here, and about the southern exact half, about southern 50% of Texas. We're going to see lots of rain, but around Temple, maybe around Waco area, anywhere north of that up to Dallas, they're going to see the freezing line where they're going to see some sleet and freezing rain, as you can see here for tomorrow. Everybody south, you can see lots of rain for us. And actually in the Dallas area going north, they're going to see snow going into the Oklahoma area where they could see up to 4 to 9 inches. But for us, after that system pushes east, it's going to send us another reinforced air, a burst of cold air. We're going to be looking at some more sub-freezing conditions in our northern counties for Friday night, Saturday morning. That's exactly why we hit the alert day. And we'll look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
Want to get a jump on filing your taxes this year? Well, the IRS has your back. The Internal Revenue Service says its free file guided tax software will be available starting Friday. Now, those guided software tools aren't written by the IRS. They come from trusted partners who are part of the Free File program. But to make sure you get to use the software for free, you must access the vendor sites through links at irs.gov. Also, the program only works for people who made less than $84,000 in adjusted gross income. The latest federal jobs report is out, and it shows job openings in November were at their highest level since May, up to 8.1 million. Economists were expecting it to actually go down to 7.7 million. Tuesday's report also shows layoff activity held fairly steady in November, but hiring remained at a decade low. which is a further indication that a much cooler labor market is at hand. The number of people who quit their jobs that month went down to under 3.1 million. That's a level not seen since the height of the pandemic. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. A potential prisoner swap is in the works. Learn the details right after this break. Offering a Guantanamo Bay prisoner in exchange for the release of 3 Americans held in Afghanistan. A source familiar with the matter says the U.S. has been in discussions with the Taliban for months about a deal to free Ryan Corbett, George Gleesman, and Mahmoud Habibi. All 3 were detained in Afghanistan in 2022. The U.S. has offered to trade Muhammad Rahim al-Afghani, an alleged close associate of Osama bin Laden, in return for the 3 Americans. The U.S. has not confirmed the deal. And here's an update from the deadly earthquake in China. Rescue workers continue to search for survivors this morning. The earthquake struck the holy city for Tibetan Buddhists, killing at least 126 people and leveling thousands of homes. The man accused of killing a woman by setting her on fire on a New York City subway car last month pled not guilty to murder charges Tuesday. Sebastian Cepeda Khalil, a 33-year-old undocumented migrant from Guatemala, faces charges of murder and arson. In a court appearance last month, he said he had no knowledge of the incident, saying sometimes he blacks out while drinking. The Victoria Driver's License Office is temporarily closed for maintenance. During the closure, customers are being directed to offices in Port Lavaca and Cuero for services. The Victoria staff has been relocated to those locations to help with the increased demand. Customers with existing appointments have been notified. Appointments will resume in Victoria once repairs are finished. The burn ban in DeWitt County is over, but before residents burn outside, they must notify the sheriff's office. Residents can only burn during daylight outside when wind speeds are below 23 miles an hour. Water must also be available at the site. And we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, and Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. And we've got plenty of time to get a look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, let's get a look at that sunrise over Port Lavaca. Oh,
what sunrise?
It's not quite. It's very cloudy, Parker.
Sunrise. What sunrise are you talking about? Super cloudy out there this morning, and I guess the sun hasn't come up yet, but maybe it has in the background, but we wouldn't know because Carolyn is right. It is very cloudy out there this morning, and not just for the coast, but all of us. I don't know why the computer says it's partly cloudy. It is very cloudy out there right now. 43 degrees. The clouds are keeping us a little bit warmer as well. Yesterday morning on the coast, we were below freezing at 30 to 31 degrees. How that has changed, all thanks to the clouds and that low system that's just off of our Gulf Coast today. But with the clouds today all across Texas, actually, it's going to be a bit of a chilly one with our high temperatures only rising a few degrees from the starting low temperatures. Looking for highs in the 40s and 30s across the state. Looking closer to home, I'm thinking a high of about 44 today in Port Lavaca. Like I said, under the super overcast and cloudy skies. Also a slightly breezy wind, especially closer to the coast. 43 for the high today in Victoria, also under the cloud cover. And in Cuero, I'm thinking about the same thing, maybe a little bit cooler, getting down to about 41 for today. So a bit cool, a bit chilly out there. I might recommend that jacket. And we're going to be a bit chilly for the rest of this week with highs in the 40s. And we got some major rain coming our way tomorrow between 1 inch and 2 inches. And we still have that alert day for Friday night for our northern counties that are going to see the sub-freezing conditions.
All right, well, we'll brace ourselves for the cold. Thank you, Parker.
Of course.
And thank y'all for being with us this Wednesday morning. Join Shauna, Don, Clovia, and Max for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Have a great Wednesday.